Hallöchen and welcome. Today I decided to show you how I draw an anthropomorphic character in a sitting pose. This footage was taken months ago, and before I could manage to finish my video, my real life took an unexpected turn. Now I will redo the voiceover and add a touch-up of the quote-unquote finished line art in the end, plus I will do the shading and coloring, so you will get at least something out of my very, very, very long pose. So let's get started. I will need to draw a body, head, feet and hands, and that's an awful lot to do. So for this one I will use one of my many characters. He is an anthropomorphic husky and I never used him so far. Let's call him Erik with a K. At the beginning I start with a very rough sketch to figure out what I have in mind. I'd like to draw a chill sitting pose which looks rather relaxed and stiff. I start at the head and work my way downwards to the legs. It's just a rough sketch to figure out the pose and rough shapes. The details will come later. And after I'm done with this rough sketch, I can see that the legs are still too long and something is off with his anatomy. So that's the perfect moment to go on a hunt for reference. Talk about references. Some love them, some hate them. If you rely too much on them or even trace only the outer lines instead of understanding the figure, they might not even help you, but instead make it even harder for you. So I found a silhouette on Google, but the pose is pretty much the same to mine, so I will take it. Now I can see where the mistakes were made and I can start to fix them. It's time for a new layer, but I don't want to lose my progress, even though it's not that much. So I will add a new layer on top of it and give it another color. This was the moment when my real life happened. I had a hard time to keep track of everything, really just everything. But someday I came back to this file and even tried to record again, but until then I've gotten a lot better in drawing and understanding poses and the human body, and that's how I figured out that some mistakes had to be fixed, especially on his hand. And that's the only reason why I'm still making this video instead of scrapping it and tossing it into the trash. Everyone makes mistakes and everyone is capable of learning from them. Just because in the end you can see the mistakes that were made during the creation of an artwork doesn't mean that there were no mistakes. I wanted to show you that if I'm able to overcome fear and anxiety and fix my mistakes, even if this pic is old and has no use for me, so you can overcome your fear. You just need to give it a try. The next big step is creating the shadows and lighting for this picture. First of all, I picked the position of the main light source. That's the point where every bit of light comes from in the first place. I will not talk about things like bouncing light or rim light. It's just about the basics here. When you have marked your light source, you can start with the shadows. Shadows are cast whenever there's no light. I just start somewhere and work my way up or down to the rest of the character. Once I'm done with the shadows, I will start with the lighting. Usually, I grab the color of the light source and use this specific color for all my lightings. When this is done, I make the shadow layer and highlight layer invisible and work on the base colors of the character. I often work by reference sheets. After this is done, I can make the shadows and lights visible again and add them to the picture. And now my picture is relatively done. I only need a background, or I could just let it be for now. So I decided to just let it be as it is and wrap this thing up. I hope you had a little bit of fun with me today and could enjoy the process. And now I wish you a pretty nice day and tschüss. See you next time. Ciao.